Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So this is Nivas from Vembu Technologies. So I'm working as a product analyst here. Today I will be monitoring this webinar. And I see the attendees are joining in. So we'll give it a minute and start the webinar later. So please stay connected. We'll start in a minute or two. Hello everyone. Thank you once again for staying connected. So before getting started, I will start with the ground rules for this session. So all the attendees will be in listen only mode. However, if you have any questions, there is a question box here, so you can just post your questions. So also there will be a Q&A session at the end of the session, so you can ask your questions. So we have some analysts and engineers here, so they will try to answer your questions whenever you post your questions in the question box. So okay, to begin with, let's start with a small introduction about Vembu Technologies. So we are the company founded in the year 2002, and we have a decade of experience in developing the backup solution for various IT environments. Currently, we set our footprints over 100 plus countries, and we have 60,000 plus customers currently using our backup solution to protect their business critical data from various threats. Okay, and you can see, so Vembu recently has been ranked or named as a leader by various review sites such as G2 Crowd, IT Central Station, and Trusted, and a lot more. It's okay. So coming to today's topic. So today's topic is about how to protect your business from a ransomware attack. So let me introduce to my presenter. So I'm having Mr. Pranav with me. So he's a product analyst at Vembu, and he's the one who is going to host a webinar today. So this webinar will be going through a 30 to 35 minutes walkthrough, which is followed by a small presentation and a live demo. Okay, so let's come to the agenda for this session. So I'll just explain the agenda for this webinar session, and then I will hand over the mic to Mr. Pranav, so he will take the session forward. So after this walkthrough, so I'll be giving the product demonstration to you. I'll just explain how Vembu features, the features and functionalities of Vembu will help you to protect from the ransomware attacks. So here you can see, so this is the agenda for this. So first we'll start with what is the ransomware and the types of ransomware available here, and how it will begin to attack your business or your business data. And we can see the statistics which we have collected in the year 2018 and 2019. So the statistics related to the ransomware attacks, and we'll let you know the steps how to protect your business from these ransomware attacks. And at the end, so we'll see how Vembu is helping, Vembu BDR Suite is helping your businesses to protect your business critical data from these kinds of ransomware. So after, so I will just give the overview of the product. I will just demo the product to you. At the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A where if you have any questions, you can ask your questions. We are happy to answer you by the end. Okay, thank you. So this is the agenda for this. So with this, I will just hand over the mic to Mr. Pranav. So he'll be taking this webinar from now. So Pranav, it's time for you to take the session.
Good introduction, Mr. Nivas. Okay, people, happy to start with the session today. Hope everyone is ready, because the topic is something which is more important in the recent day cases. So how to protect your business from a ransomware attack? Before starting with, or before I give you the complete detail about the protection, I would like to start how the ransomware started to come into the scene and how it got its limelight. So based on this, I have segregated the topics as per that. So the initial part will be what ransomware is all about. So it is nothing but malicious software or a malware, which I could call it as, that completely affects you by not giving you an access to certain programs or even the user's data. And with this, they also get or demand a ransom, so that only when you pay that, you'll be able to come in. So you can split these words into two. So ransomware, it is just a subtype of malware, as I have mentioned here. So once you pay the ransom that a hacker demands, only then you get an access. In some cases, even though the ransom is paid, you still won't get the access for your users data or for the performing of your, for the regular activities that your computer performs. Something which is more been itchy in the recent cases of cybercrime. So let's see more about this. Types of ransomware. So based on its severity, these are categorized into 3 types. One is the scareware, then the screen locker, and the crypto ransomware. So what is a scareware? It's just a fake, or it is something like a post that comes up saying that your system is hacked from the FBI, or they post a prank. Maybe I could call it as a prank that scares you like a scarecrow. So this scareware is it is nothing but most of the cases it is completely a hoax, but it is just an initial degree of severity it holds. So a normal IT technician or a person who is well knowledgeable, or who is more knowledgeable with this encryption and details, he will be able to crack this code and he'll be able to save the computer. So this just a scary malware, a subtype of ransomware that is a scary malware which holds a low severity of the attack. The next part is the screen locker. So what happens is the hacker gets into your screen and he completely locks the screen with his password, so that you won't be able to log in or log out, or any of the functions can't be seen, so that the complete output of visual is disabled. In this case, most of the priority is given to the people who are accessing the computer through visual paths. So this is being controlled by the hackers. So only when you pay, then you get the screen relaxed. But it is only the second degree. Now there are some tools that helps you to open the screen immediately, that has come up in the market. But the third degree, the highest severity, holds been the crypto ransomware. So what happens here is it completely targets a file, some important file. The hacker targets an important file or the system file. He encrypts the data with his own encryption password. Only that allows only him to access those files and not the others, not the owner of the system. So what happens is, only when you pay a ransom or the demanded amount, you get the detailed decryption password, so that you get the data to be decrypted and you could view it. So this is the main case that everyone faces, and this is a main part of crypto ransomware that I'm talking. So more into this crypto ransomware, I could say this is a third type of third degree severity of the ransomware. So here the malware program will encrypt the user's data by using a public key. This public key can be obtained from any of the encryption servers that the hackers know. So what happens is, it leads to a result that the user will not be able to access their data until the demand is paid, or in the case of ransom. So that is how the ransom comes in. So there are cases where the ransom, as I told before, there are cases even if you pay other amount, still then you will not get the decryption key. They start to play with you. So this is the highest stage of severity, and this is what most of the industries or backup software companies are trying to overcome. So let me explain you in the next slide how a ransomware attacks. So what happens is, the initial stage is a distribution stage, where this comes through a spam mail, a phishing, or through a download from a malicious site, or from a compromised websites, or even for bot infections or through SMS, whatever source it come from. So this is how the uh, infection is distributed. So once it is distributed, when you just log into your malicious website or download up content from the website or through a spam email, it gets into your computer, then it start infecting your system. So once it starts infecting, it gets to communicate, the hacker gets an easy access, so he gets to communicate with the encryption server. He downloads an public key and he encrypts, he tries to encrypt the data. So what data? He'll search for the file type. Either it could be a text file, image file, or PNG file, or whatever format. Even if it is a PDF file, he'll try to, or even the PPTX file, he'll try to encrypt those files through the public key obtained from that encryption server. So once done, the encryption, when a user tries to log in, he won't be getting an access to log in. So what happens is, there comes a part like you have to get things compromised by a ransom. So the hacker demands a ransom. This is how the work chat works. So this is a process that most of the hackers follow. So I have explained you the process of the attack, but now I come into the stats, the recent stats. So though we know how the ransomware started, it is initially in the scareware. It is in the later 90s that it started. Then the screen locker that comes in the 2000s and the mid. And after 2010 onwards, we started to see a huge rise in this crypto ransomware attacks. So most recent study that was conducted by various research institutions of cybercrime and various legal institutions states that 56% of the malware attacks are mostly ransomware. So that too, in a recent case, it is about 1,000, if I'm not wrong, it is 1,379 malware incidents that had happened, and in which 56 were ransomware attacks. So 56% were ransomware attacks. And normally, the average cost of a ransomware attack on a business is generally $100 to $33,000. It may be in the billions, so it is in the millions. And then for example, the users who got plagued due to this ransomware had a drop out of their market of about 30% in 2018, in the year 2018. So what shows here is the number of attacks have been reduced in 2018, but still not completely. Now the main target is the healthcare industries. For the year 2019, it is about $25 billion have been an estimated loss so far. So who do these hackers target? So most of the target were the 71% targets were all small and medium-sized businesses, and then 29% of them were the mid-market businesses. Not on the enterprise side they target much, but most are these small and medium businesses. The most diseased one is the 71%, that is your small business. So from the recent stats, you're able to understand that the year 2019 and the year 2020 will have a rise in the ransomware attacks. So how to prevent it? So I'm diving directly into the main goal of my mission here. So how to prevent a ransomware? We can't completely cure things from a ransomware, because once it is attacked, it is affected. The main part here is how you could prevent yourself than the cure that you're going to search for. So for prevention, so you should have details to be encrypted using military grade, the latest advanced encryption system, or through an RSA algorithms. So most of the companies or most of the businesses are now trying to do this. So to prevent yourself from a ransomware, better be keeping your data encrypted with the higher military grade encryption option. So this AES to AES is something which FBI and the federal government has come up for their as their encryption algorithms, because even at the hacker's end there is encryption happening. So before it gets encrypted, it is your responsibility to get your file to be encrypted. And then there is something called as ignore suspicious email link. It is something which you call in a term as phishing. So don't get yourself falling as a prey for phishing. But whatever your email pops up, either it could be a discount or some attractive post, please don't click on the link and get your computer or your system affected on it. So, and the next one is your multi-factor authentication. So it is not only with an encryption that you can solve the problem. You should have a multi-factor authentication for a program, for an application, or for the files, so that whenever one fails, you have a higher security standard, so that whenever one fails, you can use another factor of authentication to log in. So I don't think so a hacker will be able to pass through all these three types of authentication, because it may depend. Sometimes he may crack through, sometimes he may not, but in rare cases it is only he gets to crack through the system. And then always it is the main thing is you have to update all your softwares at regular intervals of time, because most for example, if it is going to be an OS, Microsoft for example, he is releasing you the upgrades of security level. So get your programs or get your OS or the environment to be upgraded at regular intervals of time. So upgrade of the software is something which is more important. And then you should have a proper backup and a DR plan, which is more important. Though being a backup and though being from Vembu, we rely on most things of backup and DR plan, because since we know that you can't have a complete cure or complete protection against ransomware, but still, if you have a proper backup, even though your data, one part of your data is encrypted, you can take a backup of the previously taken backup, and you can restore that, and you can start with your business, so that you don't lose your high availability or your business continuity at a point. And then the most important part is keep your network connected computers secured. So you should have individual checkpoints at each of the connected computers, so that it is not easy for any of the person to be a third party login between two computers. So these are the things that ransomware could be helpful for you to prevent yourself or your business from a ransomware attack. So the main part here is your encryption, your multi-factor authentication, the updates of the software, as well as the backup and DR plan. Moving on to the next, I'm just going to put some limelight on Vembu. So let's see how Vembu helps. Though I've mentioned that a proper DR and a backup plan is must, we Vembuites are giving more important towards the backup. So as far our backup is concerned, we are providing an AES 256-bit encryption algorithm. So all your backed up data is being encrypted using this AES 256 algorithm. So it is not easy for anyone to break the encryption and get the data to be decrypted. So I'm starting with this AES 256, and then regarding the backup RPO and RTO, we provide an industrial standard from 15 minutes. So you can take a backup at every 15 minutes, even though if your data has been hacked by an hacker and is being encrypted, you can still go have your RTO checked at every 15 minutes. Then you can restore it from there. So you don't have to worry, so that it keeps your business in a live environment. Here is an Vembu Hive file system. which is a patented file system that we hold. So all the file formats and the in-house file system helps you to keep your data protected. And the data that you're going, which is backed up using Vembu software, has its own file format, so that no other, for example, it is not easy for an hacker to judge that file format and encrypt it. And we store things in chunks, so it is not that easy for him to encrypt details or other chunk level. And then you have this quick VM recovery. This is all in the recovery site. So once you get things hacked, you can use this quick VM recovery, mount the data in another environment, and still you can perform your activities. So this is a type of quick VM recovery. It's also a type of a disaster recovery option that we provide. The cross-platform migration is an option where you can download things in either in another virtual format, or in a physical format. For example, you can convert things from a virtual to physical, or physical to virtual, or from a virtual to another virtual format. For example, if I'm taking a backup of my virtual environment or from a VMware, I can even download that in a Hyper-V format and boot it in an Hyper-V environment, or download it in an raw image format and boot it in a physical machine. This is how the cross-platform migration helps, and I can keep on switching my environment so that it is not easy for a hacker to directly attack me on regular intervals at targeted time. And then the important part is an automated verification system. As per our software, we provide you an integrity check, image integrity check, that happens at every 24 hours. So it takes the backed up data and boot it in an Hyper-V environment, so that it shows you, it displays you the boot screen. So for this feature, you should have a Hyper-V role enabled in your server machine. If that is happening, then you have all the data to be verified. And immediately, apart from this, you also have an immediate reports with that sends you the details of how things are happening at the back end. So either the backup is failure or a success, or it is partially success. All these details are being listed in a good amount of reports that we provide. This reports helps you to even get yourself complied with the international regulations. So far, this is how the ransomware protection can be done, and I have also said how Vembu helps you in doing this. So this is something that we stand high above than any other backup software. That's why we claim that we are one of the world-class backup software in the market for both the SMBs as well as the mid-market, who provides you with an enterprise class features at a best challengeable pricing rate. So we have Mr. Nivas to take over for the demo session. Thank you for staying connected.
Thank you, Pranav. Thanks for the informative presentation. So yes, so everyone here, so I think you might be getting a lot of information from what Pranav would have explained in this presentation. So that being at one side, so I'll just explain how Vembu BDR Suite will help you to protect your business from the various data threats in the market. Okay, so let's start. So yes, so what is Vembu? So Vembu is a backup solution. So we are providing the backup solution for physical, virtual, and cloud-based IT environments. So we have multiple features. So we are leveraging on the changed block tracking technology, and we have a scheduling policy. We have instant recovery options, and we have the instant migration and instant recovery functionalities to bring back your data at the time of disaster or data loss. So with this, so all your backup data is compressed, encrypted, and deduplicated. Okay, and we have a scale-out storage repository management system. So you can just start with a smaller storage, and you can increase the storage at any time whenever you need. And as Pranav said, so we have a 3-tier backup verification where you can boot the backup data and you can see the boot screen. And this is to check the recoverability or to confirm the recoverability of the backup data. And yes, so apart from the backup, so we also provide replication, where you can replicate the virtual machines from one host to another host. And using this offset replication, so you can replicate the backup data from an on-premise location to an offset location or to cloud location, just to make sure that you have a copy of backup data in a second location. So if something goes wrong, you don't need to worry. You will be able to restore your data directly from this second location. So yes, so Vembu support backups for VMware, Hyper-V, and Windows physical servers. So VMware and Hyper-V is an agentless backup solution. So this comes with multiple recovery option and cross-platform migrations, where you can migrate the virtual machines from VMware to Hyper-V or Hyper-V to VMware or to any other hypervisor of your choice. So if you take Windows image backup, so it is a image-based backup solution, where you can backup your entire machine, including the operating system, the files and folders and application. And this also comes with a cross-platform migration, where in any case, if you want to migrate from physical to virtual or virtual to physical to virtual, or you can do it, or physical to physical. That means a bare metal recovery. So you can do it with Windows image backups. And yes, so we also support the legacy backups, such as you can backup your files and folders in application. So you can back up to your local backup servers or backup storage, or you can directly back up the data to Vembu Cloud. So we have multiple options there. And yes, so we do have a backup solution for G Suite and Office 365, where you can back up your mailbox, contacts, calendars, and even the files and folders from your OneDrive and Google Drive. So yes, apart from this, we also provide a DR, so where you can replicate a copy of backup data to your own data center, or you can replicate a copy to Vembu Cloud. So yes, so now we'll just see, I'll just show my console. So I'll just show one of my machine where I have installed the application, and I show how Vembu BDR works. You can now see the Vembu BDR has been in action. So just give me a minute, so I can just share my screen so that you can check the Vembu BDR in action. So I hope you can see my screen here. So this is one of my Windows machine where I have installed the application. So you can install this Vembu BDR application on a Linux machine or a Windows machine, so that's up to you. So we provide both Windows and Linux installation, and alternatively we also provide VMware and Hyper-V virtual appliances. So in this the application is already installed on a Ubuntu operating system, so you just get the virtual appliances from us and you can deploy it as a virtual machine on your virtual environment. Okay, so to install the application, it's very simple. So just go to vembu.com. So here you can see this download. So just click on this download. It will take you to the page where you can download the installer. So this is the Windows installer, and you can install this application on the supported operating system mentioned here. And so this is a single installer bundled with all the prerequisites. So you don't need to install the prerequisites manually. So just download the application, download the setup and install it. So once after installing, so it is a simple installation. So once after installing this application, you'll get a shortcut like this. Just open this. So, and this is a browser based console. So you need to have a browser to open this. So the application looks like this. So here's the dashboard where you can see all the backup activities. The first step that you need to do after installing this application is the backup storage configuration. For that, just go to management and click on storage pool. As it is said in the presentation, it is a scale-out storage where you can use the physical volumes or your network volumes to store the backup data, or even if you have any deduplication appliances, you can use that to store the backup data. So just you can create a storage pool using this, and you can use that pool to store the backup data. So the first step here is the backup configurations. So you can configure the backup for your virtual machines and physical machines directly from here. So just click on VMware vSphere. So I just show how to configure the backup for your VMware as an example. So firstly, you need to add your host. ESXi or vCenter, you can add it. So you just need to give the host name or IP address, then you need to give the credentials. After giving the credentials, just click on add host. So once your servers is added, so you can see the servers here, just click on backup. So it will list out all the virtual machines running in that particular ESX vCenter, just select the virtual machines you want to backup. Then click on next. So if you have any applications running inside these virtual machines, just make sure that you're enabling this application aware, or else you can ignore it. Then just click on next. So here you need to select the frequency for the incremental backups. How frequently you want to run the incremental backups, you need to select the frequency. The frequency for the VMware or any image-based backup is starting from 15 minutes. And we also have an option to run the additional full backups, where you can run the full backups as per the schedule, multiple full backups periodically. Then click on next. So here you need to select the retention policy. So we have two retention policy. The first one is a basic retention, which allow you to keep up to last 99 days of recovery point, and the next one is advanced retention. So this works on grandfather and father son, GFS retention. So then you need to select the storage pool. So if you want to encrypt the backup data, just click on enable encryption, and you can use your own key to encrypt the backup data. For that, just click on add password. You need to create a password, and you need to give a hint for this password and click on save. Then just click on next. So that's all. So just give the name for the backup job and save the backups. That's all. Once the data is backed up, so you likewise you can back up your Hyper-V Windows servers and files and application, and you can also replicate the virtual machines from one ESX to another ESX host. Actually, this feature is now available only for VMware. Soon you get this feature for Hyper-V also, and you can also archive a copy of backup data to tape. And coming to recovery options, we have multiple recovery options. Yeah, so let us check again. We will check the VMware backup as an example. So if you click on restore, you can see the multiple recovery options. The first one is the quick VM recovery. So this option allow you to instantly boot the backup data from the backup storage repository. If something goes wrong with the backup VM, you can just click this quick VM recovery. You can instantly boot it as a VM on your Hyper-V or VMware, and you can start working on it. And for all the changes that you're making on this quick VM session will also be recorded. So while going for the permanent recovery, you can include or exclude those changes as per your need. The next one is the live recovery. So there's a permanent recovery option, which copy the data from your backup storage and will paste it on your data store and create a new virtual machine. So yes, if you made any changes on the quick VM session, you can include those changes while going for the live recovery. And the next one is the file level recovery. So this option allow you to recover the individual files and folders from the backup data. The next one is the disk management mount. So this option allow you to attach the backup data to your local disk management service. Once it is attached, you can just browse through the disk management, and you will be able to recover the individual files and folders from there. And the next one is the disk level recovery. So this option allow you to attach the backup VMDK to another virtual machine of your choice. Once it is attached, you can just open the new virtual machine, and you can see the newly attached drive over there. And the last one is the download option. So this option allows you to download the backup data into multiple file formats. So even though this is a VMware virtual machine, I can download this backup data into file formats such as VHD or VHDX, VMDK, flat VMDK, and even RAW. So with having this, I can migrate the virtual machines from VMware to Hyper-V or Hyper-V to VMware, or physical machines to virtualized environment, or to any other platform of your choice. Yeah, so these are the recovery options. And coming to, we have various reporting options. So reporting is very clear with Vembu. So you can see the backup status report in the list jobs tab respective to each and every backup job, and the reports related to recoveries in this recovery section. There is a calendar like icon here. So using this, you will be able to see the report for restore level report for each and every backup job. And in this report tab, you can see the cumulative reports. So you can see the backup status report, image integrity report. So image integrity report is the unique such feature of Vembu. So back you can perform the 3 tier checks. The first one is the data integrity check. The second one is the mount check. So once the data is mountable, we'll put a tick mark here. And the third one will try to boot the backup data, and we'll try to capture the screenshot. Okay, so this machine is booted, and here you can see this machine is bootable, and you're seeing the screenshot here. Okay, if this machine is having some problem, so you get a bad screenshot here, maybe a blue screen or black screen error. So using this, by keeping, you can just go and check the backups. and you can see you can say this for the virtual machines or the backups that are contacted from here you can see. So this backup is having some problem, so that's why this machine is not able to boot. So if you're getting any error like this, so you can just go and check the backups. So this, and so you can also replicate the virtual machines from one location to another. So this is my on-premise data center. So if you want to have a copy of backup data in a second location, yes, it is very simple. So just go to management and just click on offset copy. Here we are providing two options here. Either you can replicate a copy of backup data to Vembu cloud, so you need to create a Vembu cloud account first. So if something goes wrong with the on-premise backup, you can just log into Vembu cloud and you'll be able to download the backup data from there. Or if you're having an offsite location or remote office, then you can make use of Vembu offsite DR. So in your remote office, just install this Vembu offsite DR application and configure storage to it. And then once it is done, so just come here, enter the IP address of the offsite DR and click on save the replication. So all the data from this backup server will now get replicated to this offsite server. If something goes wrong, don't worry, just open your offsite server so you can see the same recovery options there. The same set of recovery options, and you can redirect or you can send the offsite copy from multiple backup servers to a single offsite DR server. So these are the basic features and functionality, and so we have other products called Vembu Online Backup. So this option allow you to backup the data directly to Vembu Cloud. Okay, instead of having a local backup server, you can directly backup the data to Vembu Cloud. And yes, so all your backup data is compressed, encrypted, and deduplicated. Okay, even if you have any storage appliances, you can use that storage appliances to encrypt and store the backup data, encrypt and deduplication after storing or something. And yes, so these are the main features and functionalities. So I hope so this session is much informative for you, so you'll get an idea so to protect your data from the ransomware, and how you can make use of a backup solution to backup your critical data, so to avoid the ransomware attacks or to face the ransomware attacks. So yes, so this is the end of the presentation. So here now is the Q&A session. So we are getting a lot of question on this questions tab, question answer tab. So our representative is answering to the questions. And if you have any questions, so you can just post your questions here, so we'll try to answer it. If you're not able to answer it today, so we'll just send it by the mail. Okay, so you can ask your questions. So yeah, everyone, so we are getting a lot of questions here. So we're trying to answer the questions by the chat. So if we're not able to answer the questions, so don't mistake us. So we'll be sending the answers to you by mail shortly. Okay, here you can see the handouts here. So we can see the multiple handouts here. You can just go and make use of these handouts. And if you want to try the Vembu, so this product comes with a 30 days of free trial. So you can just download the product from our website and you can try it for free. And we have multiple editions, so we have free editions, standard edition, enterprise editions. So after the trial, you can just switch to any of these available editions. So yes, and we do have a 24/7 support, so you can contact our support through email, phone, or chat. So these are the support emails and the phone numbers that are available on your screen. So just take a note of it, and if you need any assistance during your evaluation, you just please feel free to contact us. So thank you for joining us in this wonderful webinar, and have a nice day.